Hey, what's up, everyone? So, normally my videos are a little more thought out than this, but something happened this morning I thought was kind of funny, and I just wanted to touch on it while my thoughts were kind of fresh on it. But by the way, I'm on like day 5 of a cold. It's been running its course. I've been not able to record anything, but at some point I'm just like, okay, I want to make a video. So, as you might know, Saturday Night Live is celebrating 50 years this weekend, and the other night they had like a concert with just a lot of different artists and bands from various decades that kind of have ties to Saturday Night Live coming on to perform. It was like a 3-hour concert, so it's quite a long watch. I kind of browsed through it and watched it in about 2 hours because there were some that I just 30 seconds was enough, but I would move on. However, at some point, St. Vincent, David Byrne, and Arcade Fire performed together. But the next morning, I had a friend text me that I talked to music with a little bit, and he said the following thing about St. Vincent. I just watched the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary concert. St. Vincent has to be an industry plant. She's always on shit and introduced as a legend, but I couldn't tell you one of her songs or find a person who could. So that brings up an interesting topic of conversation: is St. Vincent an industry plant? I'm going to spoil my feelings on it right away and just say, no, I do not think she is. I think St. Vincent's awesome. She has a lot of really great qualities as a musician and a writer, but it does not surprise me that most people would probably see her on stuff like that, kind of in the mainstream, and be like, I don't get it. Like, we don't hear her on the radio. She's not like a big household name, and I can attest to that. Other than people who are like music lovers like us will probably know who St. Vincent is. But if you go to your family reunion, let's say, and bring up, hey, I'm going to see St. Vincent next weekend, you're probably going to get a lot of blank stares because she's not a name. And honestly, it's kind of easy to know why. Even though she's successful enough to have a career in music, she's released, I don't know, 7 or 8 different albums that are pretty critically acclaimed, some more than others. But even as I get that text from my friend that she has to be an industry plant because I've never heard one of her songs. Him being a kind of a metalhead, a rock guy who likes bands like Alice in Chains and Pantera and stuff like that. When I was thinking of St. Vincent songs I could send him that he might like, I had like nothing to send him. I just couldn't think of one that was, anywhere close to something he would like. And then when I started thinking about, like, it is hard to recommend songs by her because it's so like artsy and unique that it's not something that you can really put into one genre. So, the normal person probably isn't going to like her stuff. But even though she is a guitar virtuoso, I think that's how you say that, it's not like many of her songs like rock, but obviously she uses a lot of finesse and kind of quirkiness with the way she plays the guitar, that it's good for those of us who are kind of eclectic in our music tastes. You've got songs like Digital Witness, Birth in Reverse on her self-titled album that I feel like are great songs. That would have been the one that I would maybe send over. But even some of my favorites off of Mass Seduction, like Los Angeles, I mean, it's almost kind of like a dance song, like how most people are not gonna get that right away. Even when I was introduced to St. Vincent, I was watching her Austin City Limits, and I knew just watching her charisma, and like I just couldn't take my eyes off of her, and I knew there was something special there, even though the songs weren't maybe clicking right away. She's like someone you have to keep coming back to. And honestly, whenever she's included on stuff like this on Saturday Night Live and some other like honors shows and stuff like that, I don't know if it really does much for how people will perceive her because they still don't have anything to like tie her to. Maybe they've never even heard of her. And in terms of the style of music that she makes, it's kind of like I alluded to earlier. It's like an artsy form of pop and rock, but it's almost like intentional in the fact that it's not supposed to be easy to, digest. It's not the most accessible thing in the world. And they're kind of these like messed up songs that you just have to develop an ear for. And I feel like the greatest way to like summarize why she's not something that like is for everybody is she doesn't appeal to the masses, but she's kind of an artist musician. She's who, some of your favorite pop and rock acts, that's who they listen to. It's like, I think maybe a lot of them, like in that room, even at Saturday Night Live's anniversary concert, they're inspired by her. Maybe they're just not like brave enough to do the things that she does because, she's willing to do things that are out of the box. And some of them have kind of alienated the fans of like her earlier stuff. I mean, she's gone through so many eras of different sounds and stuff. And even like on Daddy's Home, I think came out in 2021, she sort of embraced like a 70s nostalgic feel and sound to her music. And I think it really worked. And then her newest album last year, All Born Screaming, that was one of my favorite albums of the year. It actually did kind of rock. St. Vincent's not for everybody, I get that, but she's no industry plant. And I think whenever you hear like industry plant, you think of someone who doesn't have any talent, doesn't have any creativity, but they get opportunities because of their connections otherwise. And it's like, there's no shortage of talent like in St. Vincent. There's musicianship that's seems to be otherworldly at times. She certainly has a pretty good voice. Her lyrics are, pretty interesting at times. And, if she's getting on shows because of someone she knows, it's probably because she's someone they admire. There were a lot of artists on that 50th anniversary show that could fit into that same category, I feel like, in terms of someone who has a name, but maybe not like a song they can point to. And that would be like Brandi Carlile performed. I feel like she's about the same. She headlines festivals and, definitely puts butts in the seats. But I think those are the best type of artists. They haven't had like one hit that, kind of overshadows the rest of their career. And that's all that the most people think of. I think it's kind of endearing for artists to maintain somewhat of a lesser following compared to the superstars of the era. They could kind of keep their integrity, and then their artistic vision can shine the way it's supposed to, just like St. Vincent has. I mean, if St. Vincent had a song earlier in her career, which her career's been going, 15, 20 years in terms of releasing music. If she would have had something early on that just like was a radio hit, put her in the magazines, she was this big face. She was the face of some kind of genre. I feel like you'd get pigeonholed into just wanting to replicate that song, that hit, in order to like maintain the success that you're now used to. So I feel like she just kind of maintained, her ability to branch out in her career. So anyway, I kind of had no direction for this video of what I was going to talk about here, but those are just kind of some of my thoughts about St. Vincent, and the question that I was asked that I thought was crazy. The answer is no, I do not think she's an industry plant. Maybe there's some other good points that I'm even not thinking of at the time. Be sure to add those in the comments, and I can have some more in my arsenal for that argument against him. So anyway, if you enjoyed listening to me rant about St. Vincent and kind of her career or whatever, please subscribe to this channel, Last Few Spins, and like this video. It is greatly appreciated, as it helps put the videos back out into the algorithm and more music lovers like us can get into the discussion. So anyway, I'm actually going to see Father John Misty tomorrow night in Columbus. I'm really excited about that. By the time you watch this, it had probably already happened, but I might be doing a little bit of content, maybe talking about the show. So look for that this week. And anyway, hope you have a great rest of your day or night. Thanks for watching.